Tragic plane crash in Bangladesh. 31 lives lost. Imagine a scene of utter devastation. A school in flames, students screaming, and a community left shattered. This is the harsh reality that Bangladesh is facing after a military training jet crashed into a school in the capital city of Dhaka, claiming 31 lives, including 25 students, a heroic teacher, and the pilot. A nation in mourning. As the country grapples with the aftermath of this tragedy, hundreds of students have taken to the streets, demanding accountability, compensation for the victims' families, and an immediate halt to training flights. The government has declared a national day of mourning, with a national flag flying at half-staff across the country. Rescue efforts and investigation. The crash occurred on Monday, causing a massive fire that engulfed the two-story school building. Firefighters and rescue teams worked tirelessly to evacuate the students, with 171 people, mostly students, rescued and taken to hospitals. Unfortunately, 20 people died initially, and 7 more succumbed to their injuries overnight. The military has launched an investigation into the crash, but the country's civil aviation authority is not directly involved. Anger and controversy. The students protesting outside the crash site are furious, accusing the military of using outdated and unsafe training aircraft. They are demanding the publication of the identities of the dead and injured, compensation for the families, and an immediate halt to the use of these aircraft. The military claims that the Chinese-made F-7BGI training aircraft experienced a technical malfunction moments after takeoff, but the students are not convinced. A heroic teacher and a pilot's brave effort. Mahran Chowdhury, a teacher who rescued over 20 students from the burning school, sadly died from severe burn injuries. Her bravery and selflessness will never be forgotten. The pilot, Flight Lieutenant Muhammad Tukur Islam, made a valiant effort to divert the aircraft away from densely populated areas, but unfortunately, it was his first solo flight, and he did not survive. A call to action. As Bangladesh struggles to come to terms with this tragedy, we are left with many questions. Are military training flights a necessary risk, or can they be avoided? Should the government take responsibility for the safety of its citizens? We invite you to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Bangladesh Air Force jet crash. Students demand justice after tragic deaths of 31, mostly children. Imagine the heart-wrenching scene, a fighter jet crashing into a school, claiming the lives of 31 innocent souls, predominantly children. This tragedy in Bangladesh has sparked a wave of student protests demanding justice and answers. Summary. The majority of the 31 fatalities were children under the age of 12. A Chinese F-7BGI jet crashed into a school campus. Students are protesting, calling for justice and compensation. Parents are in despair as rescue operations continue at the crash site. Dhaka, July 22, Reuters. A nation in mourning turned to Fanu as the death toll from a fighter jet crashing into a school in Dhaka soared to 31, igniting widespread protests by students against the interim government in a country already grappling with instability. At least 25 of the victims were children, many of them under 12, who were on the verge of heading home on Monday when a Chinese-manufactured F-7BGI jet from the Bangladesh Air Force crashed into Milestone School and College. https://www.reuters.com/world/Asia-Pacific/least killed scores injured. Bangladesh Air Force jet crashes into college and erupted into flames, trapping students in the fire and debris. Sign up here. https://www.reuters.com/business/aerospace defense/students protest Bangladesh after Air Force jet crash kills mostly children/undefined location equals article paragraph and redirect URL equals %tef business %tef aerospace defense %. Fellow students and those from neighboring schools took to the streets, protesting as government officials visited the crash site. Their chants echoed, "Why did our brothers die? We demand answers." In the capital, hundreds of Fundu students, some wielding sticks, breached the main gate of the federal government secretariat, demanding the resignation of the education advisor. Local TV footage captured police using batons to disperse them. Rescue workers tirelessly searched the charred ruins for survivors on Tuesday, while heartbroken residents looked on. Many parents were inconsolable. "I took her to school yesterday morning like any other day. I never imagined it would be the last time I saw her," sobbed Abul Hossein, referring to his 9-year-old daughter, Nusrat Jahananika, who perished in the crash and was buried on Monday night. Rubina Akhtar recounted how her son Ryan Tufik narrowly escaped. His shirt caught fire on a staircase, but he managed to sprint to the ground floor, tear off his burning clothes, and jump onto the grass, saving himself from severe burns. The military explained that the jet had departed from a nearby airbase for a routine training mission, but encountered a mechanical failure. The pilot, who was among the deceased, had attempted to steer the aircraft away from populated areas, but it ultimately crashed into the school campus. On Tuesday, the military issued a statement confirming 31 fatalities and 165 hospital admissions in the city. The health ministry later reported that 70 individuals were still receiving treatment. Item 1 of 6 members of the Bangladesh Air Force investigate the crash site at Milestone School and College in Dhaka, Bangladesh, July 22, 2025.
Reuters Mohammad Punir Hossain.
1/6 members of the Bangladesh Air Force investigate the crash site at Milestone School and College in Dhaka, Bangladesh, July 22, 2025. Reuters/Mohammad Punir Hossain purchase licensing rights, opens new tab, https://www.reuters.nectcom/item/Air Force training aircraft crashed into Milestone College campus in Dhaka Jif non-JLDXRL. In response, the government declared a day of national mourning, with flags flown at half-mast and special prayers held across all places of worship. Student demands. The protesting students are insisting on several key actions, naming those killed and injured, securing Air Force compensation for the families of the deceased, decommissioning outdated and risky jets, and revising Air Force training protocols. A statement from the press office of Muhammad Yunus, the interim administrator, assured that the government, military, school, and hospital authorities were collaborating to release a list of victims. It also pledged that training flights would no